Hello, how's it going? All
Hello,
good?
hi.
Hello, how's it going? Oh, I can find.
Hello,
I can
hi.
listen my echo.
Hello, how's it going?
I have it open somewhere.
I
Hello,
can
how's it
listen my
going?
echo. How's it going?
All
Hello,
good?
hi.
Hello, how's it going? Oh, I can find.
Hello,
I can
hi.
listen my echo.
Hello, how's it going?
I have it
There
open
is a
somewhere.
lot of echo.
Hello, how's it going?
How's it going?
All
Hello,
good?
hi.
Hello, how's it going? Oh, I can find.
Hello,
I can
hi.
listen. Oh, Jesus. Okay, now it's
It was
alright.
me or it was you?
I think that was me.
That was cool, actually. We could
That
make
was
some sort of rap on top of
right.
it because it was creating some rhythm. Yeah.
Let's see if we still live everywhere. We still live. Yeah. Okay, cool. We are all there. Yeah, we are there. Live everywhere. Cool. Awesome. Yes, Mandonga, you're first.
Me?
No, Mandonga is a guy from Spain that's called Mandonga. I always come to
Okay.
the
Yeah.
we are it's no sound. Wait, I think that we are I think yeah. It's a- yeah. Now we have sound. Yeah, cool. So I'm going to. This guy is Daniele Danko Angelozzi. He's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, you are the first person that is able to spell correctly my second name. Actually,
That's because I'm Italian.
yeah, of course.
I'm half Italian.
Yeah.
um, and he works in collectibles, right? Okay, why not you explain us what you do for
Okay, yeah,
for
perfect.
work?
Okay, yeah. So I'm a guy from Italy, random guy from Italy. I work as a digital sculptor, or I pretend to work as a digital sculptor. I let people believe it. And yeah, basically mainly in the collectible industry. So I think that it's 3 or 4 years that basically my main field of work is on the collectibles industry. So related to the sculpting of statues and miniatures, and I also have some collaboration for CNC millings. So everything that is related to creating physical stuff from digital files. Yeah. So that's it.
And so how you started in 3D? Because you have been in 3D for a long time, right?
Yeah. Basically, I started, I think, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, actually. Yeah. I started studying 3D and I started working with it, I think, a bit more than 10 years ago.
Right.
Yes. So I have
But
more than 10 years of
so
experience.
you started with 3D Max and that kind of stuff, right?
No, well, actually, I really started and jumped into ZBrush as the very first software because my history is that in the past I was a biologist and I have a PhD in biotechnology.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
when I finished,
Wait. Stay a little bit with that.
no,
What happened
no,
with that?
it's kind of crazy because I accidentally met ZBrush while I was doing my final thesis because I really wanted to find some software to create 3D images of cells and molecules,
Uh-huh.
and I fell in love with it. So as I didn't have a lot of chances to work in that particular industry, and I realized that I really loved the creativity, and even when I was young, I really liked to draw and sculpt with clay and so on. I thought to myself, why not try to make this a profession? So I just started studying back, and so I started with ZBrush, but of course I also learned 3D modeling. Back at the time, I used the Softimage. So yeah, that's it. And in the first years, I mainly worked in advertisement. I made some collaboration with indie game developers and stuff like that until the moment in which 5 or 6 years ago, as I mentioned, I really made more my job focused on sculpting things in order to be 3D printed. Yeah.
And you kind of specialize in figure, right? In figure sculpting.
Yeah, basically, I try to make everything that the people ask me to do. Yes, but I really would like to focus more on creating figures, and I'm really fond of sculpting human figures in every kind of style. But probably I really love to sculpt anatomy, or at least try to, because I feel like my anatomy knowledge is still yet to be perfect, but not on neither 50% perfect. So, but I really like that particular field. So sculpting
Man,
anatomies, figures, dynamic figures, and
we
so
are
on.
watching
Yeah,
we're watching here the sculpture of the what's the name? Bella Lugozzi.
yeah.
Man,
This is the
looks
last.
awesome.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
Looks
yeah.
super
No,
cool.
it came out quite cool. Yeah. During the last years, I work a lot with this particular company that is specialized in creating statues of all the actors from past movies, and so I also focused a lot on creating portraits. Even if honestly, I really don't like a lot to make portraits. No, I mean, I love to make likeness, but I feel like they are so difficult, and I'm not feel that good. So I always end up being a lot
Mm,
with a lot of frustration when I work on portraits. But no,
You
well,
should you shouldn't
overall,
say that. They're looking very good, man. They're looking
oh,
awesome.
thanks. Thanks. No, a lot of people say this to me, but I really feel that I really have to learn more to create good portraits. And portrait usually, at least for me, it really put me in front of a lot of frustration. So I think that it's kind of normal, because every people that works on
I mean,
likeness.
we struggle all the time with that, right?
Yeah. But in fact, it's not only related on likeness, but usually whenever you make something, if you really strive to make it look good, you have to
Uh,
really struggle with it. Yeah,
but that's the thing of doing this. It's always about frustration. It's about
yeah.
frustration and go over the frustration, right?
Yes, also because there is this misconception that the more you work, the more the thing is supposed to be easy. But
Oh no,
for me,
it's not. It's not correct.
yeah, it kind of happens the opposite, because the more you become somewhat skilled, the more you develop
The
the
eye.
ability to observe, and you
Yeah,
want to really reach a higher level. So
yeah.
um, it sounds like being uh, something meaningless, but really, the more you work, the more it becomes difficult. Yeah,
It's a never-ending battle with
yeah,
yourself, pretty much. When you can leave the project alone,
yeah,
I mean, you learn quite a lot when you're working in production in that kind of stuff, right? Because in production you
yes,
need to leave it. At some
yeah,
point you need to leave it, right? So if you're in production, you have 3 weeks to do this character, and you need to do this actor, right? So you have three
yes,
weeks, and in 3 weeks you need to make it look the best that you can, right?
yeah, yeah.
So you always need to let it go at some point.
Yes.
Now, for example, I'm in the show that I finished the model like I started the show in January.
Yeah.
I finished the model in March with
Oh
everything
wow, two
right
months. Yeah.
in 2 months. With plane shapes, all the stuff, and nowadays I still tweaking it.
Oh wow.
The client is still asking changes,
Yeah.
like very random changes, and I'm still changing it. I'm still touching things.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, but
very,
it's also part of being a professional. You have to be able to really handle the frustration that comes from people asking
yeah,
for corrections, because
but
yeah, I remember when I was moving my first steps in the field, I was kind of more or less prone to correction and reviews. Because I kind of felt that when a client asked for some correction, it was not good, or it was
mm,
not the right one. But then in the end, you learn that basically this is a job. So if there is someone that is paying for you to make
exactly.
something they want in a particular way, you have to do in that way. So
Yeah.
even if you disagree,
So
sometimes
actually, that's a good topic. How you handle the changes from the client? Because different people does in different ways. For example, my way is I charge per day. So if they want that
yep,
change, they will pay.
yeah,
But another people, I know that in collectibles is not you guys don't charge for the day, you charge for the sculpture,
um,
right?
Yeah. Usually in collectibles, it works in quite a different in a different way, because in a collectible usually you charge for the sculpt, so you make some sort of quote based on your esteem on how much it will take. Of course, there is. I also use this sort of formula that if a change is due because I made some mistake. So let's say that I'm working on a likeness and the client don't like the likeness, of course, I know that I have to make it look better. If there are changes that are related to a client changing idea, maybe basically he decided he wants to change the expression or the pose of the. So everything that is not related to my fault will be charged.
Right.
So I usually like to try to be a lot to be somewhat communicative with the
Yeah.
client.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
you always try to find some sort of deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So also, if the change is not so extreme, okay, who cares? I can really spend. Also depends on the client, because if it's a recurring client, so if
Yeah.
it's someone with which you work a lot, you can make just as a favor,
Yeah.
or in order to make the final product look better, because if the client earn money with the product, probably he will be able to make some more. But it's always it depends on every different project is different, so you handle the project in different ways. But yes, basically at the basic level, you always work on a fixed price. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. I was showing the guys your stuff. They love it. I actually showed you guys some of the guys that are in the stream. I showed the stuff yesterday because it's a discourse.
Yeah.
It's a discourse, and we were talking about your stuff, and they love your things.
Okay.
Oh, Kochi's there. Kochi is a special person. He's super good.
Yeah.
Kochi is each time that comes to the stream, he breaks my stream.
Okay. Yeah. So very special person.
He's awesome, and he's actually a painter. He paints miniatures.
Oh wow, cool.
And he's a very good painter. He's a very very good painter. He got featured by Warhammer a week ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
it's
he's a
good.
very, very good painter. For me,
He's a
painters
very,
are
very
some,
good painter.
some sort of black magicians, because they really can make.
You know, for me,
amazing.
all of these collectible stuff is all new because I didn't know about it. I mean, I knew that exists, but I never pay attention to it.
You should.
It's a pretty good industry, mate.
Yeah. Yep.
Not too bad.
Basically, we were talking about prices before. For me, probably is one of the ones in which you gain less. At least compared, if you work as a freelancer in the movie industry and you work on a daily rate, in the end you can gain more. But if you know how I know, if you know your stuff, it's kind of rewarding, and it's fun, because it has a from few to zero technical stuff.
But also what is good is that, I mean, you guys in collectibles is kind of, you can handle the time a little bit better. I mean, in my case, I have a deadline. Is this day or is this day? So if for me, if I get a freelance, like what's going to happen in the next weeks, I get a freelance, I need to put that freelance with my work, my day-to-day work. That freelance have a deadline. So I have 4 weeks. In that 4 weeks, I'm going to be doing my work at my studio and the freelance. And you finish that, right? But if you're in the collectibles, you can handle it, right? Because you can extend it.
You have more space. Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah. Even though there are some producers that really put you on tight deadlines, because the production usually takes some time. So there are some people that really ask for you to deliver in a particular date, and you have to deliver for that particular date. So but usually the times are bigger than the ones that are used in VFX and advertisement production. Yeah.
Hey, we have a pincher here. Oh, that guy is amazing.
With that,
we have Bichar Bin. is an amazing sculptor. We met each other in the same summit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ah, Vichar. Yeah.
Vichar.
Yeah. Hi, Vichar. How are you? Yeah.
That guy is amazing sculptor. That guy.
Yeah. No,
God.
Vichar is probably one of the best sculptors around. And
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing. Yeah, we took some photos with Vichar in the summit. Actually, Vichar, you should come to the stream.
Yeah,
one of these days.
come and join. Please, discuss something with us.
No. He's going to put us in shame. No, he's not going to share the screen.
No, Vichar is really amazing. Every time he posts something, I feel like, oh my god, I really have to take some classes and learn some more stuff because
he's not doing any workshops, right? Vichar, you should be doing workshops.
I would like.
I will do a Vichar workshop. It's a workshop of 2 persons I would like to have. One is with Simon Lee. I mean, we talk about that, Daniele.
Yeah, same as me. Yeah.
Is guys, if you want to learn, just it's not expensive. It's only $400 or something like that.
Yeah.
That guy is a monster.
Yeah, I really love the fact that he's has this very gestural approach. So he can make have some details on clay, but a lot of times he just play with shapes and forms and gestures, and he really can convey the sense of something. Yeah.
Do you notice that he creates motion blur?
Yeah, also
with the sculpture. It's like when because mostly if you want to express that something is going fast, you see less detail, right? And in sculpture you don't have that freedom because the sculpture needs to be detailed all the way around.
Yeah.
But for conveying that, what he does is put much less detail in the areas that he wants to show movement, and that's pretty amazing. If you see always,
he's super amazing, and he's also blazingly fast because
it's very fast.
When you see him doing demos, and all the people say that he's fast as hell. So awesome. I really will take probably. I'm not sure if the next, but one of the next classes.
Yeah, I'm going to take one.
Yeah.
But I want to transfer that.
We can learn how to use real clay, and it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I have lots of monster clay over there, and wires and things, but I don't have much space in my apartment, so I can't do much.
So same as you, because there I have my place in which I have all the clay behind the skeleton, where is the huge light, and so there is some chavant and monster clay there, and sometimes I play with it, but I'm really not that good, so I would really like to learn more. Yeah.
Cool. You want? I'm going to start sharing the screens so we can go to ZBrush.
Okay.
How Juan Camilo Gaveno is a bot. Gaveno is not person, he's a bot. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
That guy is everywhere. Kochi, awesome. I have a friend that says that you used to use XSI.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm still using it sometimes. I mean, it still works in newer machines. So right now I switched to Blender when it comes to low poly and all stuff related to traditional modeling, just because I'm a freelancer. So I really can use every software that I want, and Blender being free for me,
it's a no-brainer, right?
Save money saver. But sometimes I'm still using XSI because there are something that are very easy for me to do there, because I can really use it quite well, and it also has a custom GoZ application, so it really can really talk with ZBrush very easily. And so sometimes when it comes to somewhat make some modifications, I still using it. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, Blender is nice. I have been using Blender for a while. But
you're using 3D Max or Maya?
Maya.
At work. Maya, yeah.
3D Max is...
Maya also is very good. Yeah.
Maya is super good. Maya is super good.
Yeah.
I mean, Maya have some good stuff, but it's very old in some ways. You know, it's
Yeah.
very outdated in some stuff. But it's very powerful. That's the thing. You know, Maya is a
Yeah.
powerful software where you can do. I mean, for VFX is, you know, is nothing better than it because it can
Yeah.
handle everything.
Yeah. Basically, it's the industry standard, so it's always on point with what is required in a production. Yeah. And in fact, Blender is cool, but there's some sort of things in which you can feel it's still a bit young
Yeah.
in terms of software, because mainly for the ease of use and some sort of viewport tricks, because in terms of tools it's okay, but it has those small things that doesn't make it quite comfortable sometimes to work with, and I
For
can
me,
really
it's more
find it.
about I can't use it 100% in production. I'm not
Yeah.
able to use it 100% in production. If I need to make a creature for production, because that's what I do normally, I just do creatures,
Yeah.
and I can't. I don't have all the tools that I have in Maya.
Yeah, of course.
So, for example, transfer point positions, transfer UVs, transfer stuff.
Yeah.
That kind of things I don't have them in Blender.
Yeah, but there is also a super silly thing if you think about it, but it's super important. For example, in Blender, you cannot see in a different way the open edges. So the open edges are not highlighted like in Maya,
Yeah.
and working with something with open edges is really a nightmare. And I realized it when I had the need to close some open edges, that where are the
unwelded points, you know, to detect unwelded points and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's true. That's true. So I wanted to ask you, how is the industry in Italy? Because it's not much, right? Or it's a lot?
Well, in Italy, we are a small country, so the proportion of small country, small industry. So there are a lot of Italian people complaining about the fact that here there are not a lot of job opportunities. But I feel like it's normal because we are a small country and we have small studios, and there is not a lot of VFX, this sort of culture. So. It's like in a lot of other places. If you really want to work in the industry, sometimes you have to move in order to work there. I always make the example, with all the respect, with Brazil, because I really love Brazil. But you can see that all the Brazilian guys that are super amazing sculptors, usually they work outside. Because probably in Brazil there is the same problem in Italy. So there are few studios, and not all the people that that are aiming to work in the VFX can work in the studio.
Well, honestly, Brazil is yes, that's true. But at the same time, Brazil, for example, is better than other countries in VFX. For example, if you compare if you compare with Argentina, or I think that they have more studios
what
there,
I'm
right?
saying is, probably if you think in terms of industry, probably the hot spots to work in the VFX and video games are USA, Canada, London, UK, maybe Singapore. So if you consider all the countries, there are 5 to 10 places that are really huge in terms of opportunities.
Actually, US only video games, not films.
Yeah.
Forget about
and also
films.
Right now in the US, it's very difficult to take some sort of working visa and go there if you come from outside.
Honestly, Canada is pretty good. Canada is very good. So guys, if you want to come to Canada, Canada is good.
Yeah, they say that Canada is very good. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, Canada is pretty good, man. I can't complain. They treat you good.
Yeah, but to come back to the original question, Italy is small, but if you work as a freelancer, you can work with every client from all over the world. And for collectibles, there are some producers, so there are opportunities. At least for me, I can say that I get a lot. I get quite good requests, a good amount of requests from Italian clients, and also from non-Italian ones. So
nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's cool, man. That's cool. All right. I started sculpting the.
Okay, yeah. So I will also jump to ZBrush,
Yeah,
and I will.
make a show. Yeah, you're sharing the screen now. Look, you're in the
No,
screen
I'm
now.
not sharing. No, don't share anything because I'm just in the first stages, and I really am not sure what I'm gonna do because
We can see the
I
mannequin.
just
It's very cool. You start using you start with the mannequin all the time.
not all the time. Usually I start with spheres. Sometimes I start with the mannequin when I really want to just sketch something real quick,
Mm.
because otherwise, usually I just take maybe no, not this one, but the very low polygon sphere, and I will just start using the approach that you use when you, let's say, draw. So let's initialize to a sphere, and I will just place measure spheres to describe the measure masses like this. So like Brigman
Mm-hmm.
teaches, so add the torso and the hips, and then put some other spheres with some
Mm-hmm.
insert brush and use this. But if I really want to strive to create something just gestural and quick, I start with the mannequin because it really is the or at least shorten the time of creating the spheres. So I'm really not pretending to create anything final. So if I want to explore some pose and some gesture for some piece,
Mm.
probably I will use the mannequin.
It's pretty good.
And
I
also
mean,
basically,
yeah,
yep.
it's nice. I like the mannequin.
Yeah, the only thing that I really don't like of the mannequin is that sometimes the limbs are very, very thin. So I
Mm.
lose a lot of time inflating them
Okay.
or making them larger. So because I really like to start with something bigger usually, and then
Yeah.
and in case carve on it, because otherwise I feel like I'm not eating quite fast the thickness, the right thickness. But no, the mannequin is super good if you really you let's say I really want to create something with this kind of gesture. So I have also put some reference because I'm really not able to sculpt from memory. So with the mannequin, I have on the fly the capability to say, okay, I want the shoulders angled in a particular way, the
Yeah.
face going in a particular way. So that's it. It will be faster and easier, at least to jump into action quicker. Yeah.
Here Gabeno is asking that he's very interested in sculpting miniatures.
Yeah.
And he believes that it's a huge marketplace. If you can give him any advice, he's asking for any advice
Oh,
for
yeah.
getting
Well,
inside.
actually, the miniature marketplace is huge because basically a lot of people, thanks to the fact that the 3D printers have become quite more affordable and the technology has developed a lot. A lot of people started to produce miniatures, not only with home printers, but also printing services are becoming cheaper. So you can really see a lot of stuff being produced. And there is also another market that is opening because right now some companies are not selling the physical product, but the STL. There are a lot of Kickstarters of people just selling the digital file, so people that have printers can print them. The suggestion is just try if you really want to work in the miniature and the collectible industry, you have to create dynamic stuff. So uh, in terms of portfolio and of the things that you should try to create is just you have to show that you are capable to create nice dynamic figures, of course, nice anatomies if you really want to sculpt anatomies. The cool fact of the miniature industry is that it has very few technical steps. So when it comes to sculpting, you are really free of following the approach that you want. So you can start with the mannequin, you can use simulation or not. The only important thing is that you deliver something that is good looking. So no matter if you have Dynameshes with super bad topologies, zero meshed stuff, I think that in the VFX industry will cause you to be fired. Of course, in terms of technical stuff, you have to learn a bit how to create cut and keying. Because of course when you want to deliver a final product, let me see, maybe I can open something that is has been already shown. Yeah, probably I have something that okay, not this one, but yeah, these are quite simple but should show the logic. Yeah, probably I have okay, yeah, this should be the last one. So
Wait, you're showing the screen. Let me change
Yeah.
the because I have a switcher that is switching between scenes. Let
Okay.
me stop it.
Yeah.
So you
No
can.
problem. So this is an example of a miniature. So
Okay, cool.
of course you have to take care of the fact that sometimes you you have to take care of the splitting. This is not prepped yet because it misses the pins, but the logic is that if this is gonna be produced, you have to take into account the fact that you have to cut and perform the cuts, and you want to be sure that your product is printable also. So
That looks very
but
cool.
yeah, but in
Get
terms
closer,
of
get
technical
closer.
stuff, is not that difficult. Sometimes there is this people think, oh my god, making the cuts and keying is super difficult. It's not difficult. I mean, it's difficult, but once you get it, difficult to extract a good display there to make it work. So I always say that in terms of technical stuff, probably the collectible industry is the less intensive and in terms of requirements, because you really don't have to care about all this stuff. Of course,
And for
it
cut it,
helps.
and for cut it,
Yeah.
you just use booleans, right?
Sorry.
For cut it, you use the booleans in ZBrush. That's how you cut it.
Yeah, sometimes I use the booleans. It depends on the scale of the project, because if it's of a small scale, Dynamesh is quicker. So
Okay.
when you have to work on something like this, you can really play with high Dynamesh values. So you will lose a bit the quality, but it will not be noticeable in the final product. If I have to make something big, of course, I cannot rely in the Dynamesh system, because it will create very heavy meshes if I use high values, or I will lose a lot of quality if I if I lower them down. So when it comes to big stuff, the Boolean system is a better option.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the Boolean system is amazing,
The Boolean
actually,
system is
because
pretty good, right?
it's able to create to just modify the topology in the places in which the Boolean acts. So this translates in the fact that you never lose any type of detail that you have sculpted. So it's a bit slower, because sometimes you have to check and be sure that the Boolean doesn't create artifacts or stuff. I mean, little holes inside. But overall, yeah, it's super cool.
But also the Boolean system come with come with some it shows you when something is going to break or that kind of stuff sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Now the problem with the Boolean is very accurate. So usually you want to avoid in something that has to be 3D printed to have small holes running inside of the mesh. With the Dynamesh, usually the Dynamesh is not so accurate, so it will close if it finds very little holes. With the Boolean system, even if you have let's say 1 nanometer of space between two pieces, it will not fuse them together. So sometimes you have to pay extra care for the Boolean in order to avoid creating stuff that has inside some sort of bubbles and so on. So with the Dynamesh, it will be easier to create this stuff. With the Boolean, you have to pay extra attention, but of course, yeah. Usually also you can mix the two techniques, so you can use the Boolean system, but you can use the Dynamesh for some parts inside to fill the holes. So
here they're asking if you also make the character design or you just make the sculpture. If you make the concept art,
the character design, no, no. As a sculptor, I really hate to make. I mean, I'm not a concept artist, and I'm not striving to become a concept artist. I really like to try to observe something and try to make it look as close as possible. And usually, when you work in the collectibles, you always have to deliver something based on an existing concept. So I try to avoid making the design. Of course, some people ask me to. Of course, when you're given a concept in the collectibles, sometimes you don't have a kind of totally descriptive concept. Sometimes it can be like, let's say, just a sketch. It could be something like this. So there could be a client that says, okay, I want to recreate the Desolation Angels by Brom. So you have somewhat to invent and think about what how are the parts that you cannot see. So what is behind? So you always have to put some sort of creativity in order to fill the gaps, or say, okay, based on what I see, this could be thick in a certain way, the pose could go in a certain way. So of course you put some creativity, but the initial input, the concept is always basically from another drawing or from some other artist. Yeah.
Here, Adrian Tobal is saying, amazing figures. Bud Spencer is a superhero. Actually, Adrian Tobal is a very good artist from Argentina. He actually works for, I don't know if it's all the time, but he works for Weta Workshops.
Oh, wow.
He's pretty good. And he's going to come
What's
to
his
the
name?
channel one of
Sorry?
these. Adrian Tobada. Tabuada.
Oh, never. I don't know him. But there is
Uh,
another great Argentinian guy that is Daniel Bell, actually, and
We
he
ha-
works for Sideshow. Probably is one of the
Yeah.
best statues sculptors in the world. Yeah, he's
Yeah, we
amazing.
have Daniel Bell. We have Franco Carlesimo. He's very good.
Yeah, he's another guy. Yeah,
You know
there are a lot
Franco?
of- yeah, I know. I never met him, but of course I know him because I know he's an amazing guy. So don't know personally, but know because of his works. Yeah,
Oh, he's good. He's good. Franquito is
no,
good.
Franco is amazing. Yeah,
Pablo Vicentin is another Argentinian, and for me,
yeah,
it's
another one. Yeah, I also
f-
know his works, and probably we are also connected. I don't remember if sometime we also chatted together. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you know
these-
him because Pablo told me that you give him some
Yeah.
plugins, exercise plugins
Yeah, yeah.
that he's still using
Yeah, but-
because he's still using exercise as well.
Yeah. But I remember that in the past we talked sometimes with Pablo. Then of course during the years we lost a bit contact. But yeah, I know him and he's amazing.
Well,
But
if Pablo comes
I also
to the
still
stream,
using XSI because because XSI until it runs, it's a good piece of software. Yeah.
if Pablo comes to the stream, I will bring him to the stream
Yeah.
so you can say
Cool.
hello. But I don't know. I think Pablo maybe is sleeping because he sometimes changes his time and he works at night and sleeps during the day, and he starts to
Yep.
rotate every day. Yeah, it's very funny. Sometimes we don't
so
see
now
him.
in Argentina, what time is it also?
Now in Argentina is 12 for 1 a.m.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
Pablo is in Argentina right now?
Yeah, it's in
or,
Argentina. He's in Argentina. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Advancing switcher start. Cool. So how is everything with the COVID-19 in Italy? You guys are okay? You're doing
Oh,
good?
well, at the moment we are I say okay, but because the spreading is no, the virus is spreading, so they are adopting stricter rules. So at the moment we are not yet in lockdown, but there are we have not the freedom to move between different regions. I mean, no, there are regions that are signed with different colors. There are yellow, orange, and red, and these are related to the state of the contagion, and the red is the worst. If you are in the red region, for example, you cannot move outside of the region. If you are in the yellow ones, you have more freedom. But overall, they are closing off all the public activities like restaurants, bar, all the things that can cause people to aggregate. And I feel that probably it will become harsher, and probably we will end up being locked down another time. But I mean, from a selfish point of view, for me, the change is minimal because I work from home and I really will not have any problems in terms of work. I will only lose the fact that I cannot go jogging, but I mean, from a global point of view,
But it's okay. We
sad,
can become fat. We can be fat for a couple of months, right?
Sorry.
We can get fat for a couple of months. It's fine.
Oh no, I'm totally okay because I have a treadmill and I also have a boxing bag in the garage, so
Okay,
I can
so you're
work out
okay.
easily.
Yeah.
So no problem for me. Yeah, no, but apart from that, I feel that sometimes some measurements are necessary, so avoid the situation getting
To get worse. Yeah,
if
yeah,
we
yeah,
have to
man.
stay home for 1 month, okay, who cares?
Here is Adrian Tobal is saying hello from Argentina. Well, that's the guy who makes sculptures for Weta workshops. He's
Oh,
awesome.
wow.
Adrian, maybe in one of these days you can come to the stream as well.
Yeah.
And show your stuff. Basute85 saying hello and good morning. Adrián Tribulo is saying hi. Juan Camilo Campo is saying hello. And Juan Camilo Campo is saying that your stuff is very good. That he really likes your portfolio.
Oh, thanks. Means a lot.
And it's Andrea. Andrea is a guy that we work from Indinek together. He's in Scanline, I think now, I believe.
Where?
Also Italia. Also from Italy. Scanline.
Oh, cool.
And he's from Italy as well.
What's his name?
Andrea Dongo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember this name. So we know each other, probably. Or at least I saw his works. Yeah.
Andrea,
Yeah,
you
I
know
remember all the names
Daniele?
of the people, of the good people that I see in Facebook. I have this superpower. Sometimes people say, I say to people, "Oh, I know your name because I saw you on Facebook," and they don't believe it. But yeah, usually I have this thing that I really can connect the names. So
He says that you guys met a couple of times in View conferences.
yeah.
And yeah, we are connected on socials. All right.
Yeah.
Italian socials.
Yeah, no, but that's good. Yeah, so social when used properly are super good because really, I'm quite old. Probably I'm older than you. How old are you, Lucas? You're very young.
I'm 33.
Yeah, so you're very young actually.
How old
because
are
I'm
you?
almost 45. So
You don't look
for
45.
me, oh yeah, thanks. It's
You're keeping in
thanks to
shape,
boxing.
man.
Yeah.
You're keeping in shape. You're okay.
Yeah, I try to. No, but it's because of the light, because I place my lighting and
So
I use
you
the
take out the
lighting
wrinkles, right?
yeah. I asked to some friends of mine that works as a lighting artist to create a light rig in order to make me look younger. No, yeah, but I mean, now for me, I grew up in a world in which it was impossible to connect with people from different countries. So thinking that we can talk, you are in Canada right now, I am in Italy, and you can type to everyone and have instant messaging, even if you are very far. For me, is amazing to think. I guess that people that was born with this technology already in place cannot understand the difference of not having this, but for me it's amazing. And
no, it's amazing. It's amazing.
yeah. And I really love the fact that with social media you really can connect to people. So when used properly, they are super amazing. Of course, like everything, the most powerful thing is the most abusable is. So if you really don't use them well, you really can make a lot of mess.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I mean, it's cool. Even if meeting in person is always cooler, because I remember when we met
of course.
in the
It was very
summit,
fun, right?
yeah, it is fun because also when you really can connect the real face, the real person to the faces that you see in
Yeah,
internet.
it's always more fun, but I mean, for now, this is a kind of a good alternative.
Yeah, sure.
For
now we have to live with that. I really want this year to come back to the summit. When it was.
Well, I want to go to Monster Palooza.
Yeah, I also want to go there.
I really want to go to Monster Palooza. Yeah.
So when this COVID situation will end, so let's make a deal. The next Monster Palooza after the ending of the COVID, we will meet there. Okay?
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be very good.
Okay,
yeah.
So yeah.
Let's do that. Here, Oi Change is saying that you don't look any day over 50. So that might be, that's a good thing.
You what? Sorry?
That's a good thing. He said that you don't look you
Oh,
don't look a day
yeah.
over 50. So that's
Oh,
good.
thanks. No, not really, not really. It's really because of the light. Because also, you know that anatomy wise, there is a thing that always grows during the life of a person, and is the hairs. So looking at my hairs, you can really see that they're really long. So I'm very old. So I'm quite old. So by just looking at my hairs, you can say, okay, he's not 30 at all. He's more than 40 for sure. Yeah, in the women you can say the age from this part, that is the jaw fat, because after the 40 in women it usually falls, and it's very difficult to keep it raised up naturally. In males usually the hairs are a good proof of the real age. So I should make some sort of surgery in order to make my hair smaller if
To
I
get
want
to look
keep.
younger.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if exists some sort of hair reduction surgery. Never heard
Well,
about it. I have to.
you have a lot of reductions from everywhere, so I'm pretty sure that you can get something.
Okay, yeah. So we can work on that. Yeah. No, I really don't want to reduce my hair. So really, no, just kidding. So
Nice. So I have which ones are your favorite movies, Daniel? What
movies.
you yeah, you have you like
Oh,
monster movies, you like what you like?
okay. No, well, actually, I don't have a favorite movie type, because in this you can really say that I'm an old person. I'm not old, but not so young, because from a movie I always try to um, I like a movie that has a good story. So no matter the topic, if the story is involving, has a good plot, and it's kind of consistent, I really like it. So I like usually movies in which you set some rules, and it follows the rules. So if it's a fantasy movie, okay, but I always look for some beautiful story, because
Nice.
even if I work in some sort of digital environment, I really don't care about a good movie, a good visual effects. Of course, if there are good visual effects, it's okay. But I'm more focused on the story. So I really want to find something that really can catch my attention in terms of story.
Here, Oil Chance is asking me where I'm located. I'm located in Vancouver. Montreal is too cold for me.
What?
They ask me. Oil Change asked me where I'm located.
Okay.
I'm saying that in Vancouver because Montreal is too cold. It's way too cold, man. Minus
Yeah.
40. I'm not going to go there. And Adrian Tobadi said that ears and vision is a problem. Yeah. When you get older.
So now, how is the weather in Vancouver?
Oh no, it's okay. Now we're getting to autumn, so it's good. It's alright.
Yeah.
It's starting the raining season, so a little less fun, but
Yeah.
it's alright. I don't
So
complain. It's perfect for quarantine. For stay home.
okay, good. Yeah. And how are the temperatures? Actually?
The temperature is around 10 degrees. Here, BCR says that
10
you have very kind heart, so that's the reason you look young.
Thanks for the kind words, Bichar. You're a friend. Okay. So
He's not that kind, BCR. He's not that kind. Remember that he's from he's Italian. Be careful.
So I'm not seeing the stream. You're sculpting the dragon, actually, right?
Yeah, I'm sculpting the dragon now.
Yeah. It's super amazing. Yeah, you show me
I'm doing
today, this morning for me. It was morning for me, but it was a night for you, and it's very cool.
This is going to be my first, the first thing that I'm going to do for 3D printing. I want to.
Cool. So it's a commission or is a personal piece?
No, it's personal. I'm doing it just for because I never did anything in this industry, so I wanted to do something for start in the industry.
Yeah,
and so I'm doing Smog fighting the Balrog.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
And so I'm doing that 2 characters fighting each other, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Because I really like to do creatures more than people, right? I do a lot of
Yeah.
I do a lot of digi doubles, and I'm not a big fan of them.
Okay.
I like to create things, right?
Yeah.
And that's and with creatures is something that normally happen more often than with characters.
Yeah.
Like reimagine something with a creature is normally is the case, right? It's normally
Yeah.
when you need to do it. Well, I mean, at least in my line of work, when
Yep.
I need to do a human, is Jason Momoa, or is
Okay.
or is Superman, or is
Yeah.
Spider-Man. You know, so
Yeah. Yeah. You
always
have
needs
less
to
space
be.
for creativity.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's less place for creativity, and also I get we get scans, we get all this photography, and I need to do all the blend shapes, and I mean it's fun. I'm not going to say that it's not fun. That is
you cannot say otherwise. You will we will get fired if someone
no
hears you.
it's all right, but you think that you have so much you have sometimes it's no space to say to this Jason Momoa I'm going to make the eyebrows a little bit deeper, I'm going to make his eyes bigger.
Yeah.
No, you need to follow the guy, you need to get the likeness of the guy, and that's your challenge. But it's good.
Yeah.
I mean it's people that's doing that, and it's great doing that, and I like the work, but I'm not a huge fan of doing it myself.
Yeah.
I really like to. I never been a fan of doing, for example, lots of superheroes as well.
Okay.
I don't get that excited by sculpting superheroes or copy stuff. Thing that was
Yeah.
something that was already designed.
Yeah.
But and so I think that in creatures, it's always that open space where no one knows what they want, so you spend
Yes.
you have the space to make designs or different things.
Yeah. Totally get it.
But it's not that I think that it's bad. It's just I think that it's my feeling. It's just that.
Yeah, probably everyone has a favorite stuff, but I can really hear your point, and of course, in that particular field, you have more freedom for your creativity and to create your own designs. So
I feel that in collectibles, you have more freedom than in films. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure that if I'm doing superheroes in collectibles, I will enjoy it. Or if I need to do collectibles and do a character, I will enjoy that. I'm pretty sure that I will, because in collectibles you have more freedom. In films,
sure.
In films you don't have the freedom. In films, this is Jason Momoa in Aquaman, and we do Jason Momoa on Aquaman. Is that?
But also having scans, I can really believe that it's in terms of work is let's say 80%. Technical stuff and 20% just trying to.
No, I mean honestly, these the scans are not that good.
Okay.
So it's not that we get amazing scans. The scans, they will take you 50%, and mostly. I mean, if you have a close up of the guy, you're going to use a close-up for the guy. If the guy is going to be like small in the screen, it's fine, because that you use the scan, you put it there, then
Yeah.
But if it's going to be close to the screen, then the scan is not enough. The scan is very only it will only help you for the main volumes, right?
Yeah. So you have to redo basically everything.
Yeah, you do pretty much everything. And same thing with blend shapes, because imagine the amount of blend shapes if the character is he also talking or fighting or whatever. You need to do all a fuck setup, and that's very challenging, and that's very difficult. That's probably the most difficult part. In terms of getting the likeness, with the of the face in a neutral pose, it's okay. Now, making the likeness of the guy making expression, is a different
It's a
thing.
totally different story.
That gets more complicated, and mostly if the guy is close up, well,
Yep.
you will take some time.
Man, I really sometimes when I hear this stuff, or I hear people speaking about VFX pipelines, about this kind of stuff, I really don't know. I will not never be able to make this type of job, because it sounds like really a lot of frustration, a lot of technical stuff. I mean,
Yeah, it
at least,
gets. Yeah,
yep,
I mean, yes and no. Have very good things.
yeah,
I think that sometimes the technical stuff that you learn in films will help you to, or at least in my case, or what I think, helps you to
yeah,
be more efficient. You know,
yeah.
makes your stuff be much more efficient. You can become more efficient at the time of making things, knowing all the technical parts. It will not make you a better sculptor. No, it will not.
Yeah,
But it will make you will learn stuff that will make your job easier and faster.
yeah,
I don't. Oh, why this is okay. Um, and it's some very cool stuff. You can learn some very good stuff. But yes, at the same time, it's a lot of technicalities. You need to take in consideration a lot of things. It's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. No, my problem is that just hearing all the things that you have to do, I get in confusion. So I really cannot imagine myself doing it, because I would say, oh man, yeah.
Man, everyone can do
Give
it.
that, yeah,
Everyone can do it.
shapes, you have to rename all of them and keep track. I am very messy person, you can see from my studio, so probably I am not disabled to make stuff that requires to pay a lot of attention to organize stuff. No, I'm just kidding, but it really sounds to me like a huge amount of work. Yeah, so quite intimidating.
It's a very it's a very big amount of work. But I mean,
Yep.
if I'm a mess. I'm a very very messy person.
Okay, you are an artist, so
I'm not a very organized person. My files are all in one folder, and if someone wants to find it, good luck.
yeah,
Um, but you learn. You learn.
yeah.
Here in Vichar says that blade shapes is the best way to learn molding for characters. Molding or
What
modeling?
is the best way? Sorry.
Blade shapes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And hello, Juan Galan is coming. And here, Andrea saying that you get to receive the cameras from with photography, and it's a matter of A/B between photo and model. Yes, that's true. That's what you do. You go A and B between model and photo, and be 1-to-1. Yes. So,
Yeah. Perhaps
Andrea,
would be nice to try to work on some sort of a VFX environment.
I mean,
Yeah, because
it's nice because you work with very talented people, so you learn a lot,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's a lot of things that you learn from there.
yeah,
And you learn just because of being there. Yeah, you're there and you learn just because you're there.
yeah.
It's like that's the cool stuff.
Yeah, but in fact, from a personal point of view, this is something, an experience that I personally miss. I have personal stuff, so I'm kind of not forced, but I work as a freelancer because I have my wife, I'm married, she has a good job, so I will never ask her to leave her job in order to follow my dreams.
Yeah,
So
of course.
until I have work to do here, so that's okay. But sometimes really, I think that I would really love to try to work for a studio and on a different type of production, like say a movie or a video game, because as you said, being close to good people is a huge plus, and will allow you to learn more, because when you are always alone, so you don't talk with anyone, you don't have also the chance to have direct feedbacks with people. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a bit more limiting. So in the end, also to improve, it will take you quite more time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, I mean, it's lots of things that you can learn alone. I mean, most of the things, I mean, you're an amazing artist and
Yeah.
you learn alone. And so, you know, the only thing that it helps you is you will learn a lot of technical stuff and
Yeah.
a lot of artistic stuff because it's very talented people. The only thing is that people in films is not very well known. You know, the people in films is not, it's not very well known because we can't share our portfolios.
Yeah.
We are not able to share our portfolios, right? Or share all the work that we do.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why I wanted to start collectibles, because it gives you more exposure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is a time of we are in a year or in an age where we need to be more in social media and that kind of stuff, and that's stuff that I never pay attention to, and I always talk about this in the streams because I think that is very important.
Yeah, you mean getting exposure and the right exposure? Yes,
yeah,
of course.
Your personal work is important. I never give a crap about my personal work. I always did personal work, but always nothing that I was proud of. You know, my personal work was coming out from work, doing something fast for me, you know, for take my mind out of, you know,
of course. After you work for 8 hours a day, if not
out of
more,
the technical stuff, you know, just open ZBrush and do some fast concept for 2-3 hours and post it, right? But that doesn't help to get people following you, know. That's the only thing that it does. Is make you happy because you did something, and you did this amount of time and with this and with in this way. But this doesn't help to get people. You know, for get people, you need to show good stuff. And people understand what is good stuff, on a part of people that only understand tits, but you know, because if you put a chick with tits, you have a that's the easiest way to get.
If I really want to make this look good, okay, I'm done.
Oh, wait!
I'm the winner.
make them bigger so we get more viewers. If you make them, if you make them 50% bigger, we are going to get 100 people watching the stream.
Man, I hate this thing. Every time that you make boobs, there are people that ask for them to make bigger. There are some friends of mine that always say to me that I never sculpt women. And in fact, I don't know why I decided to try to sketch a woman, because I'm not so good in creating women anatomies. But you know, sometimes it's worth trying, and I really like to exercise on stuff that are out of my comfort zone. So I always feel the need to learn to sculpt better female figures, because the female body is such a pain.
Oh, it's difficult.
But
that's because we are used to watch. With females, you need to train your mind to show less. You know, less is more.
Exactly.
And it's very difficult to train your mind to do less, because we are used to see muscles, you know, or the movies, all the I mean, movies, commercials, video games, comics, everything is muscular, right? Women's and men's are muscular in all of them, but in real life, women's are not that muscular. And for make a woman in a sculpture look good, needs to be soft. It's not. You need to make it look soft. And if you want to do a muscular woman in a sculpture, you need to mix the two things, and that's super difficult. Imagine if you need to do someone muscular and a woman. You know. That's when it gets tricky.
But for me, there is also a problem with the perception. I feel like usually males are more into sculpting male figures. I mean, we are more used to think in terms of, I don't know if it's some kind of perception. Instead, female artists are more good in in sculpting female figures. This is
Well,
not, I mean, on a universal basis, but as a general rule, I can see this pattern. Of course, there are a lot of great male artists that are able to sculpt amazing female figures, but overall, especially when you start sculpting I see a lot of students, my female students are more into creating softer forms because probably is in our sense of perception. Maybe me as a male, I am used to think in terms of shape in order to make them look stronger, because I have this idea that probably in order to make a shape look more good, I have to give the idea of force, power, etc. And maybe from the female point of view, they have more the sensitivity to create softer forms.
Well, women are more sensitive animals, right? They are more than men's, right?
Yeah.
I always have it's like women's give, men's take, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But for example, Vichari is amazing in sculpting women.
Vichari is amazing. That guy knows. That guy knows. He knows how to make females.
Yeah. In fact, you see that when I sculpt females, the nice exercise that I use, I always use scans in order to understand how a real shape works. Because for me it's important always to have in place and look at a particular reference of how a real shape is, because otherwise I will tend to overwork always. But Vichari is amazing, actually, and I always look at his female sculpts, but also males, because he can really sculpt everything basically, because Aveson.
He's very good. He's very good. Yeah, I think that he should make a course, a workshop or something,
Yeah.
And we can, and Vichar, before you charge for it, we can beta test it.
Yeah, exactly. No. Also, as we are sponsoring the workshop, we are eligible of free entrance. So
yeah.
We should also reach out to Simon Lee and tell him the same.
Oh yeah,
talking about this class. So why let us join for free?
we do it for free and we sponsor you.
Yeah, exactly. That seems like a good plan, at least for us. Yeah.
I mean, for us it's amazing, right? I feel that I don't know if Simon Lee is going to agree. I think that he has enough exposure already. I don't know if we are going to help him too much.
Yeah, it's kind of good in what he does, so I think he has enough exposure.
I mean, it's amazing because his life story is amazing, because he started at around 40.
Yeah, I didn't know this.
He was he was a web designer before.
Wow!
Actually, he did a career in business. He studied business in the university, and he was a web designer for a long time. And actually, he got known because he was doing a web design for the Shiflett Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
And for test the web page, he started to show, put some of his sculptures in the forum.
Wow!
And people was asking to buy his sculptures.
Wow, that's an amazing story. I really didn't know this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And he started when he was 40.
For everyone, also for me.
But you are awesome. You're amazing.
You're not really. Yeah, I try to become better, but no. Simon Lee is a monster. Yeah, I really love his stuff. But I mean, there are a lot of amazing people around. When it comes also to sculpting women, we were talking about women. There is another guy that I really love. That is Steve Lord.
Steve is good. Steve is very good. Yeah.
Steve is amazing. I really love all kind of his stuff, but when it comes to the female figure, he's one of the ones that I prefer in terms of style and how we can recreate the softness of the forms.
I have I always say this. I mean, some people will agree and some people will not, because some people think for me, it's always time. You know,
Time. Yeah.
it's all about time. I used to
Oh,
have
but
a one of the best modelers I knew when I started. I started in when I went to New Zealand when I was very 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 young. I was 23 years
yeah.
old.
Wow.
He told me, what's the difference between making a box and an helicopter? Because making a box for animation is not as easy as it looks, right? This box for animation, the box needs to move. It's not just a cube, it needs to move,
Yeah.
rotate. The
Yeah.
the flaps needs to work. It's a lot of technical things, even for a box.
Yeah.
And he asked me, what's the difference between making this box and this helicopter? Time. That's
Yeah.
the only difference. And for me, anatomy is similar. Put more
Yeah.
time into the sculpture, you are going to reach a more anatomically correct and a better figure.
Yeah.
The first and also it's related with time, because the first one will not be amazing, but the second one will be better, and the third one will
Yeah.
be better. But in all of them, it's not that you're going to spend less time. You're going to spend
Yeah.
the same time
More time,
making it better.
if not more. Yeah. 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 But I totally
Until
agree.
at some point you train your eye to capture all of that and make it faster, but
Yeah.
that will take very long time.
Yeah, but totally on point. But I think that everyone would agree to this, because as we were saying before, you just have to spend the right amount of time to create good stuff. Of course, as you said, the more you work, the more you get used to learn how to observe a particular shape and recreate it.
Yeah.
But I also feel that there are some technical times that you really cannot go lower than those times. I mean, to sculpt an anatomy, of course, you have to sculpt the muscles and the shapes in the right position, and it will always take a minimum amount of time required. So no matter how much good you are in order to create and check those shapes, because of course you always want them to work from every direction and stuff like that, you have just to spend time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about spending time.
Yeah. And this is cool because it's a thing that, at least for me, I always tend to forget. Because there are times here and there, occasionally, that I start feeling like, oh, okay, I've made this thing, let's say 100 times, so I'm supposed to be good in creating this. And when I approach something with this state of mind, I always end up failing, totally failing, because I kind of feel, the Dunning-Kruger effect. So in the beginning you feel like you're good, then you start to realize that
Yes.
you kind of suck. So there are times in which I am here and I start going back and say, okay, probably I'm just becoming good. And so when you approach things with this state of mind, at least for me,
No, doesn't work. Doesn't work.
yeah, but also because probably you pay less attention, because you feel like, okay, I'm able to do this, so you stop observing and try to make the correct guessing in order to create your stuff. So you always have to approach with time, and with knowing that you have to spend time on this, and you have to pay attention to what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Also, it's the thing that sometimes, for example, it happened to me a lot, right? When I do concept art for films, it's all about everything about time, right?
Yeah.
And it's all about making things fast. So, for example,
Yeah.
the concept art that you see as ArtStation of people doing, even my concept art in ArtStation, is not what I never deliver that. My concept art,
Okay.
is that's no concept art. That's, for me, that's an illustration. Because
Yeah.
what we show when we need to show 2 or 3 concepts a day, it's not finished concepts, right?
Yeah.
And you get very used to that. You get very used to make just fast stuff, make fast stuff
Yeah.
work. What is good and it's bad. It's good for a client, it's bad for an artist, because
Yeah.
you let a lot of mistakes go in, right, when you're doing that stuff.
Yes. Yeah,
and you
just
get
because
used. It's the same with it's the same when you speak English. For example, my English is not that good, but that's because I don't care. You stop caring about speaking better.
Well, if your English is not good, so my English really sucks because
Well,
your
but I
English
ca-
sucks.
I have been living in English countries for 10 years.
No, okay. So in proportion, your is worse than mine
you
because
know,
I'm living in Italy. So
you are living in Italy. I live
uh,
in English countries for 10 years, so my English should be good at this point.
no, but your
Uh,
English is totally perfect. You have the same problem all the Latin people, Latin nations that the accent. So you will never probably you will never lose your accent, and it will always sound like a Latin person talking English. But your English is good,
that's
of course.
because I want you to sound exotic. But yeah, when you stop caring, I stop caring about improving my English or my accent or all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
It's not that good. And that's the same happen when you're working for things making it fast. You get used
yeah,
to make things fast, getting a cool design, but you don't polish it. You get used to don't polish things. You get used to
yeah,
go fast over anatomy. You get used to do a lot of things fast and not correct. That when you go to a proper model, you take all of that with you.
yeah. Yeah, but
Uh,
also you have to do it fast because otherwise you will not be able to deliver in time.
and
Because
you get
in the
fired,
industry,
yes.
yeah. How much time do you have usually to develop and a design and make some sort of design proposal?
Depends. If I'm in production
Yeah,
or if I'm in our department. In our department, I normally depends of the time, depends of how rush. But normally, for example, in Pacific Rim, I used to do 2 or 3 concepts a day of
wow,
different
uh,
ideas.
a lot.
Later, when I have, when you have one concept that the client like,
Yeah,
because normally, directors are very busy people, right? So you have one
yeah,
day a week or maybe 2 days a week where you can show
yeah.
the stuff to a director.
Okay,
And the director, he see him, fast. Yes, no, yes, no, no, yes, yes, no. So you need something that gets his attention. When you have
yeah,
that, you have that design that got his attention, then you can spend more time. You can
yeah,
spend one maybe day and a half a day in
yeah,
one concept and start to make it more complex and nicer looking. And later, you can always make and when the director is on board with the design, maybe you make a final concept showing more stuff and making a very polished concept art and something like that.
yeah.
But the beginning is when it gets tougher. The beginning is when it's tougher, when you need to go faster.
But it's a bit sad because sometimes so basically you have to you are exposed to a first cut and maybe there could be some concept that just because they are not so polished and developed, they are good but they are not look so good, and so you lose the concept just because in the first cut it doesn't make for the first approval, and you lose it. So
No, because
wow,
in the first part of the in production, it's all about shape, right?
yeah, oh, okay,
It's all about shape. It's getting the shape that the director like. It's always
yeah,
something,
okay,
or getting the mood. It's about shape or mood, or getting to his mind. And
yep,
for at least my way to get into the mind of someone is showing a lot of stuff, so
yep,
he can pick what he wants from each one, or what pay his attention from each one, and from there I can start to get in his mind and see, okay, he wants that and likes that. Okay, cool. But that works when you have one person. When you need
yeah,
to sell something to one person. The problem is when you need to sell stuff to multiple people.
yeah,
And that's the problem that I have now in this show. In this show, and also I don't work only as I do concept, but I also in production. And when you
Yeah.
need to sell stuff to multiple people, it's very difficult. For example, now my line of approval is I have 10 people on top of me
Oh my
choosing.
God. So it's an endless line.
It's an endless line of people
Yeah.
asking for, and maybe
Correction.
nine of them like it, but maybe it's one that didn't like something, and I need to go back. And it's been like that for a very long time in the show.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Hopefully soon, when next year when it gets delivered, I can show some stuff.
But before you were saying that you are not allowed to show your portfolio stuff. I mean your work, even when the show is released. So
Yes, I can only show the movie.
okay, yeah. So nothing that is related to work in progress
No,
inside of the studio. So
unless the
wow.
studio approves it. I mean,
Yeah.
unless my studio gets the approval from the client to make
Yep.
a making of, right?
Okay.
And if you're and then you can show it if your work is in the making of, right?
Okay. So this is the thing that also okay. Got it.
So I was able to do it for Pacific Rim, and was mostly because we did the summit.
Yeah.
So when I did the summit with Madeline, we
Yeah.
asked for all this stuff and they gave it to us. So we could show the things, but in most of the shows we can't. I was lacking
And
also in Togo. In Togo, I got out very cool stuff there. But
where? Which show? Sorry.
Togo is the movie from Disney.
Okay. Yeah.
And in that one, we did super realistic CG dogs.
Yeah.
And in that one, I'm able to show stuff because the studio did a making of and that kind of.
Yeah. That's kind of sad that for the majority of the times you are not able to really you can't not able to show what you do, because I mean you spend this huge amount of time in creating stuff, and you really can, but it's not that because of being proud of, but I mean sometimes is also nice to have some sort of
It,
rewarding
it kills a
in
little bit the amount of exposure that you can get in the industry, right?
yeah.
And that's the difficult part for me now, right? Trying to get that gap back,
Yep. Yeah.
and that's, yeah, and you can do it, but with a lots of work, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of extra time that you need to put after work to
Yeah.
do that.
But you're doing this? No, probably I should not ask you this question, but because if someone hears this, but because you would like in the future maybe to change your field of work. I mean, to work more in other fields, or just for personal satisfaction.
For
That
being
is a tough question.
in collectibles, I think the thing is this. I want to do. I like to work in films because I get challenges, and
Yeah.
I get like technical and artistical challenges, and I think that is fun,
Yeah.
and I learn from that.
Yep.
Also, the pay is not bad.
And that's very important.
The pay is not bad. So and it's not many people who specialize in creatures. It's a lot of people who use ZBrush, but it's not a lot of people who actually specialize in creatures, from concept art to shot sculpt, right? To
Okay.
blend shapes and all that kind of stuff. It's not a huge amount. So sometimes that can play in a bit in my favor.
Yeah.
But I want to be in the collectible industry because I want to start to create a portfolio
Yep.
of collectibles, and also let you. I sometimes I make freelances, but when I make freelances, it's normally for commercials or other
Yeah.
films, and I have deadlines for that. I'm very tight deadlines, and I can't do them sometimes. Most of the time, I can't do it. Because I'm working 9 hours at my work, and after work, I need to spend another 8 hours doing something else, or less.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 hours or something doing something else, and I end up very burned. Right? It's very difficult. So collectibles is something that will let me to do, and also I always do personal work. I always do something, right? I always after work I'm all the time doing something, and I think that it's better to do that something if I can even if it's something for production, something that I can show later. If it's if I'm doing a collectible of Batman, cool. I come after work, I do a little bit of Batman. I can spend 2-3 months in that, and and I don't need to be working 8 hours during 2 weeks for deliver that in, I can just, relax and do it in my time and focus in anatomy, focus in all the things that sometimes at work I can't focus.
Yeah.
So that's my that's why I want to get into collectibles. I think that will be a good, I want to take it as a good training, will be a good way of learn new stuff, because I will get the time for learn that stuff.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, good plan actually.
Yeah. Hopefully works.
Also because we were saying this before. Sometimes in the collectibles you have more the capability to organize your time. So usually there is more freedom. So even if you have freelance gigs on collectibles, you can somewhat reach a deal in terms of delivery, and so you can organize your time. There are some jigs in which they just say, okay, just give me your Steam of when you want to deliver, and let's try to stick to that. So it's also up to you. It's kind of cool.
Here Gabeno is saying that he started a female anatomy practice weeks ago and he found it very difficult.
Yeah, but it's difficult.
It is difficult. And Andreas is saying that sometimes we spend months on an asset and the sequence get omitted. That's true as well. That's happened a lot. And John Kelly is saying, hello, Luquitas. Hello, John.
But female anatomy, but usually anatomy in general is always a struggle. In fact, now it's just because we are streaming, but inside of me I'm dying because I'm doing this and I'm saying, oh no, it's looking super awful. But I'm as we were saying before, with the experience you learn that you just have to keep pushing and working on that. Also, when I work on likenesses, I have also those phases always. In the first phase, in the first quick block out, I reach a point in which I say, okay, I can start seeing the face. Then the day after, when I open again, the job is like, oh my God, what I did. And I always know that there are those phases in which you feel like you are doing it right, then you are doing it bad.
Yes.
But once you get used after 100 times that you make it, but also 10 or 20, you know that it will happen. So I always know when I have to make a face and the portrait that there will be a moment in which I feel like I'm doing a total mess. And I have to handle the pressures on that and just stay focused and relax and try to just observe, and it will work because basically, it's quite a creative job, but sometimes you have to follow some rules, and the rule is that you have to pay just attention and relax.
It's all about observation, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't get that focus all the time, right? It's like you some days you are going to be better observing stuff, and some days you are going to be worst observing stuff.
Yeah.
And it's how it works.
Yeah, but also with experience, I feel that you learn some basic rules that when you are out of in those days in which you are not in the mood, you want to follow more some sort of technical approach. So, for
Mm.
example, when I'm working on portraits, if it's one of those days, I really rely a lot on overlaps. So I just take pictures and overlap the face, the face, the face, the face until I get it right. And there are
Right.
instead days in which I feel more like I'm more able to observe and I'm more willing to observe and try to follow the shapes in a more creative way. So it's just deal with it. So you have to do it, and you have to do it in a way or the other. So like this.
Also, Daniel, you're giving classes now, right? You're
Me, yeah.
teaching?
At the moment, they are a bit frozen, but with the new year, probably I will give classes. But usually, I give classes in Italian, but just
Mhm.
because I feel that my English is not so good, so
I
I
think that is
really feel
perfect.
shy.
I think
No,
it's perfect.
but for
Yeah.
giving the classes, I would really like to have some sort of more polished English, and also because I feel that there are a lot of good people making international classes, so I feel a bit shy. I'm not feeling
Oh, come
this.
on.
Oh, well, maybe in the future I will take first an English class and maybe consider the idea of giving classes. No, but just
I can beta test your classes.
okay, perfect. So no, yeah, in my idea for the future, at- in the beginning, I would like to make this in Italian, but if it works and they see that it's a viable option, I would consider also making something international. I would like to make something related to create collectibles, in particular
Mhm.
miniatures, because the miniature world is a huge market. It doesn't pay a lot really because, of course, you cannot ask a lot of money for a very small piece. Um, but yeah, and I would like to make something. I don't know if you follow the Chris Costa's class.
Yes.
I
I
really like
mean,
his.
I never did his class, but
Okay, yeah, but you know it.
yeah.
And he had this sort of very nice formula, the fly on the wall, in which he basically works. So it's not really a class, it's just him working and you observe him working. And I really
Mhm.
like the idea. It's pretty intensive because basically the class takes place every day, every given
Mhm.
day. And I took the class, and for my time zone, I had to wake up like at 5 a.m. in the morning every day.
Right.
So it was quite hard, but it's cool. I really like the formula because it's less like a real usual class, but it's more like, okay, I can see some professional doing the thing that he usually does in
Mm.
order to create something, and it lasts a good amount of time. So it would be nice to think in terms of creating a class in which you
How
basically
how long takes how
one
many
month.
it's a month? A month class? Okay.
Yeah, it lasts 1 month. So
It's not
also,
bad.
yeah, yeah, it's worth the price because basically, Chris, for an entire month, every 2 hours a day, he spends 2 hours a day working on his stuff, and
Hmm?
explains what he does, and it also works once he finishes the class to refine the things that he does. I mean, in terms of it's worth the money because he put a lot of effort in making those classes. I mean,
Mm.
doing every day after his daily work in the evening, 2 hours and talking to people is not. It's quite intense, but I really love the formula because
Okay.
it's something that I never saw a lot around, and it was cool, yeah. And so,
It's
yeah,
like
why not make
it's
it
almost like
something?
a live stream, right? It's almost like a live
Yeah,
stream.
basically, yeah. But people, of course, can make question, and is very good also in explaining the techniques. So
Yeah.
it really goes also very technical. So it's not just like more random. Let's take a sphere and sculpt it, but it also explains how he extracts the maps, so also how to plug a good shader and make a good shader. So I feel that is good, but also in terms of the formula that he adopted, and I feel that invented it, because it was the first time that I saw someone saying, "Okay, let's spend a month together every evening and create something together." It was cool, yeah.
Pretty good. Uh, that's here, Jonathan Narvaez is asking, what kind of technique you use for clothing?
Clothing? Oh yeah, my main technique is sculpting them by hand, because I saw that I feel like I am very frustrated when I'm making anatomies, when I'm making portraits, but probably the only thing that really I find very relaxing in terms of sculpting is clothes. I really enjoy sculpting clothes, so I don't rely a lot on Marvelous Designer. I have it, of course, because nowadays, if you really have to make some sort of complex garment, it can really be a huge time saver. Even if you just block it out, or even if you think that is very difficult to make sculpt wise, is floating stuff. So if you have to make a cape that really falls from gravity and have nice gravity straight falls, sometimes it's easier to just take a plane and simulate in Marvelous. But for the rest of the clothes, usually I make them in ZBrush. For example, the Dracula sculpt, the Dracula statue that I made, all the clothes except from the cape were made using ZBrush. So basically my technique is I extract something. Oh, I can also show, because I'm very good in creating clothes, so it's super easy. So let's say, let's start. Oh, let me find something that could be okay. So
It's coming a tutorial, guys.
yeah,
Coming a tutorial. This is what we want you to know. I'm going.
It's kind of easy stuff. So
let me
I have to
stop the
find
switcher. I want you to stop the switcher. Stop the switcher.
base
Okay.
mesh. So probably I have base mesh. Let me be sure that I'm. This is the. Oh, this is just okay. Yeah. So usually when I have to start sculpting, nowadays if I have to make a human, of course I have my set of base meshes. So I use base meshes because you really don't have to reinvent every time the wheel. So I have this one has been purchased from 3D Scan Store. Sometimes I use ones that I export from Human. That is a freeware software. So very humble meshes. But if I have to create clothes, let's say that I have to make some sort of jacket, it's kind of easy because I can really perform an extract. Yeah, I can also leave, no, let's say without the thickness. So let me sure that I'm not in double, otherwise it will have some issues. Sometimes it's creating, okay, a double, yeah, it created a double-sided mesh. So let me delete, oh, it's okay, and reperform the extract. Let's give some sort of slight thickness. So I can, let's perform a group visible also. Where is it? I have somewhere here, group visible. Okay, so extract, accept, and so I will just leave the outer shell and I will delete the hidden. So basically, in ZBrush, I guess all the people know that there is this nice brush that is the slice curve that allows to create real cuts on the mesh. I will change the shader just to, okay, like this. So it will create super bad topologies, but create super clean cuts. So with this, I can just start thinking in terms of how I want to create my garment, thinking in terms of the sewing pattern, because it's easier. So it doesn't work in symmetry, but I will, let's say, create a cut here. And I know that if I create this part and then perform a mirror and weld, it will mirror on the other side. So let's start to create the cut for the sleeve, and then I will take this. I can also delete by symmetry to be sure that I am cutting the right side. So let's see in double mode, and here I want to create the opening. The only thing that I don't, first of all, let me separate the front and the back, because usually every cloth has the front part and the back being two separate parts, and here I want to create the opening. Now it will be super humble, so I will delete the hidden. And let's make maybe the sleeve more interesting. So let's say, usually if I have to make some sort of motorbike, okay, could be something like that. Sometimes leather motorbike jacket has different patches. So I just think in terms of patches, and now I want to create a better opening here for the neck. So like this. Okay, delete hidden, and okay, and perform again, and mirror and weld. Okay. So with this, I usually perform, and I use a lot this polish by feature function with the open dot, because it basically polishes, maintaining the sharpness of the features that are the poly groups, etc. And let me mirror and weld. Okay, and I will also thicken this a bit by just okay, take this part and this part, mask everything but this. I am a huge fan of the action line, so let's reactivate the symmetry and just thicken it. And from this, I should get rid of the nipples, otherwise they will create some problem. But let's say that this is the basic shape, and I will zero mesh this with the keep group option, and with the smoothing groups a bit lowered, because otherwise it will kind of reperform a polish by feature. And I want to use a very low polygon count, or at least start with this. So it's not looking good, so I will undo and maybe erase a bit until I found the perfect form. And now I have basically a garment, or something that looks like a garment, with all the patches that are just created as they are supposed to be. So it's like doing some sort of reverse Marvelous Designer work.
Yeah, kind of.
Here we have an issue, but the zero mesher is super smart, because if I take this and move and then recall the zero mesher, basically I'm just suggesting him to create another loop. So when you are getting used to this, creating garments becomes easier. In the past, before here we have some, usually when you have these issues is because you have very sharp corners, but you can try to just move the parts or raise the polygon count. But for now, I will, let me raise a bit and just reperform the zero mesher. It's not perfect, but can make the job. Let me, okay, yeah, okay. And I can also smooth with the smooth brush modifier set to 6, and it's like performing a polish by feature on a local part. So basically here you can see that I'm just creating this smooth and round shape here in the sleeve, like here. So like this, and then we perform a zero mesh, and now it looks better. Not perfect, but we're getting there. And before the 2021, I exported this in order to create. Oh, yeah, we had some sort of issue. So again, but you see, it's just a matter of saying, okay, yeah, the topology is not good. Just move and suggest that we want here a straight line. And I mean, sculpt wise, I mean, if it's meant to be used to sculpt some cloth, this is a perfect base mesh, because I can also UV these using the patches. So I can also later give some sort of texturing effect with the pattern, texturing XYZ, whatever it is.
Nice.
Before the 2021, I used to export this in order to make color. But right now, if you want to make a color that flips, I still prefer to make in an external software, but I can also perform an extrude here, then extrude the edge loop, fuse them together, maybe perform another extrude with maybe the free angle, because I really want to dictate, okay, the direction, and like this, and I can perform and create this sort of color. Of course, you have to get rid a bit of these issues, but overall, we have some basic shape that you can really can subdivide and keep working on. So I basically make all my clothes starting in this way. I usually block them out. If I have the need to create nice pattern, I want to block them out in symmetry, because I will block them out and then UV. So I have perfectly symmetrical UVs, and then I can sculpt, and later I can.
And for
give,
sculpting the wrinkles and all that kind of stuff, you use something special or just a standard brush?
No,
with
no.
alpha?
Usually I have a brush that is this one that I've created by myself, but it's just a standard brush with this sort of alpha that is created taking a cube rotated by 45 degrees. So I have some sort of a tip that goes 45 degrees in this way. So I just try to sculpt by observing. There is a trick that I use. Oh, let me get rid of this weighted smooth mode, otherwise it will make some issues on the polygroups. Sometimes the logic is that a standard brush in ZBrush will pull the shape based on the normal. But if I go here under the picker menu, I can say that I want to pull in another direction. And usually if I put this arrow up, I can really, you can see that I'm pushing and the shape going a bit up. So in this way, I can create the sense of slight overlaps. That is a thing that is very difficult to make in ZBrush. So basically, I'm pulling down and pulling up. Nowadays,
similar to gravity, but different.
Similar, yeah, but with that you really can control this better, because the gravity add to the effect.
Yeah.
Instead, with the picker, you're just saying, I want to just pull in that direction. So you get rid of the pulling component of the standard brush. There is in the new, no, where is it? Probably here. I am a total mess. So, but yeah, probably it was in the beta. Yeah, there is. This one, okay, I'm not sure. Yeah, and nowadays you can also create brushes that take advantage of the simulation system. So I've created a couple of them, and you can see that now I can create also the sense of overlap with the same approach, but also using the simulation to somewhat smooth and fill the gaps. So this is a directional one, but there is also another one that is, because I have created a bunch of them. And I also have shared once, so I can also send the link later in case someone wants to download them.
I want to download them.
Yeah, perfect. Now I have lost the pressure. Usually when you load the brush, you lose the sense of pressure. And you can see that you can really sculpt these folds, and I can use the same approach and say, okay, I just want to pull. But now, yeah, also the simulation is taking place. So it's basically helping the brush effect to make some sort of smoother and more realistic transition. Of course, if you keep going on top, it will create some artifact, but it's cool because also you can play with modifier or some sort of inflating effect instead of pinching, but they are cool. But I don't use them a lot. The most of the times I just use this brush because I feel like it makes quite easily the job. And the orientation is a thing that I use a lot because I really can tell my brushes the direction in which I want to pull sometimes. But
that's pretty cool. That's something that I don't use pretty much at all.
Oh yeah, but it's just because I am the kind of weird tech guy, so I really like to explore and use brushes in order to fill my my lack of capability. So I always hope to create sooner or later the perfect brush. No, but no, just kidding. But you see, you just take them to. So probably sculpting clothes is the thing that I. Sorry.
Wait. I think that something went. Hello, can you hear me?
Now yes, because first before there was the signal that was a bit going away. Yeah, now I can hear you.
Here Vichar says that he wants the brush as well.
Okay, yeah. No, I will share. I shared when the 2021 came out, but I will reshare. No problem. Yeah. Sharing is
Uh,
caring, but I mean, sometimes they act random, quite randomly. But if you learn how to create to stroke with the right intensity, you
mm.
can really perform nice fold. There were some tests that I did. I don't remember which one is. Let me see. Oh yeah, probably no, not this one. This is for a miniature. Well, but no, yeah. Later, I fill this with cloth, but I don't have the clothed version, so it is just another random sketch. But I mean, I will share maybe under your post in your
Yeah, you
timeline.
can put it there. Yeah, drop it there.
Yeah, yeah. So
Uh, oh
everybody can
man,
download it.
it already came the hater. I have a hater that is following my streams and always put a thumbs down. I got that guy. I have in all the streams. I have this guy that counts and just put a dislike. Very funny.
What did us? Sorry.
In every stream that I do, I have this guy that comes and put a thumbs down to the stream.
Oh,
Your camera is there, but your camera is not in the stream.
okay. Let me see. I can maybe try. Where is it? No, probably the camera. No, the camera should work.
You leave it there. You leave it there. I will.
Okay, perfect. So I leave it to you.
Yeah. I'm going to put your screen there, and I'm going to try to put your camera. Here we go. That's your camera there.
Perfect.
Guys, can you... We are back in the stream. Let me see if we are back in the stream. We are back in the stream in YouTube. Yes, we are back. Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, we are back in all of them.
Oh, but
Cool.
still 2 hours passed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, 2 hours, man.
Wow, super quick.
Yeah,
I
went
thought
fast, went
that-
fast. Went very fast. So I need to go to work.
Yeah.
I need to start going work.
Otherwise, you will get fired.
I'm
Yeah.
going to get fired. So, guys, thank you very much, Daniel. I mean, it was
Oh, thanks to
was
you for having me
amazing.
and for the nice chat. And
Was
it was really fun.
amazing.
Yeah.
It was very fun. I think that we should do it again.
Yeah, of course. Whenever you want.
And we can go and ask Daniele for more brushes and more stuff.
Sure. I have a lot of them to share. Yeah, because I have a lot of brushes. Yeah.
Gavino is saying, do like me, Lucas, just don't work. Yeah, if I don't work, I'm going to have a problem. Vancouver is very expensive. Thank you very much, Daniel. I mean, honestly, it was very good. I love the tricks with the clothing. I think that they're amazing. I'm going to start to use the thing that you use for change the position of the brush. That's quite smart.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you very
Cool.
much, and thank you guys for coming. Please put likes so we can make the stream growing, and let's try to discover the hater so we can kill him.
Yeah, kill the hater.
Kill the hater. we because between a couple of friends we share the same hater. It's the same person coming to all over our streams putting a thumb down.
Yeah, but
It's very
someone
funny.
say that sometimes the more the haters, it means that you are doing something right if you have a lot of haters, usually. So
Well,
it's
that's
a cool.
good. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Diego Corvalán is asking where I can get the brushes. Dieguito,
I will. Now I have another live in 15 minutes. I have a review, but after that, I will put the link under your post in your timeline. So
awesome.
everyone that follow the stream, in the stream link. So
Okay.
so you can find them here.
Awesome.
There.
Guys, please follow Daniel in ArtStation. He's a monster. And well, hopefully, I don't know, when if you feel one day that you want to come back and just a school for an evening or whatever, let me
Yeah,
know and
sure.
we can do it.
Let's
Awesome.
do it again, of course.
Cool. Awesome, guys. Okay, see ya.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
So bye and have a good working day.
Thank you. See ya, guys. Bye bye.
Bye, Lucas, and thanks